Hey, David.
Hi, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for meeting with me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in today. Glad you're interested in this position.
Oh yeah, I'm psyched about it.
Yeah, all right. So what made you decide to apply as a soccer coach?
Well, I've always had a love for the game of soccer. It's always been an intricate part of my life. When I was growing up, I was always playing at the club level, and then when I got to high school, I played for 4 years at the high school level too. And then when I graduated high school, I wasn't able to play at the collegiate level, but I figured that I still wanted to spread my love of the game through teaching. So I decided to get involved with the YMCA, and I've been coaching for them as a youth coach and got my personal trainer certification, so I have some background in exercise program design and that sort of thing, and I've just been moving forward since then.
All right, yeah. Well, tell me a bit about what your experience has been like as the coach at the YMCA.
It's been really great. So I've worked with pretty young kids up until now, and that's one of the reasons that I applied for this position is because I really want to get to an age where we can work more in depth on their tactical awareness and that sort of thing. Where I worked at the Y, it was with kids working on their very technical, their basics, being able to pass the ball back and forth on the ground, throw-ins, headers, all those basics that kids need to learn if they want to be able to play soccer at the higher level eventually. So in that sense, it was great for me to learn how to translate those fundamentals over to players who are just learning how to play the game. And now I want to take what I've learned there and apply it to the high school level. Take those basic technical abilities that the players already have learned and now move towards the tactical aspect of the game, which is what I really am interested in. So.
All right. So how would you describe your teaching style?
Well, I would say my teaching style is growing up it was always lead by example. So I played on soccer teams for years where I was the captain, and I was never the type of guy to tell you how to do something. I would just try and lead by example and kind of foster a welcoming environment when I'm working with people. That way I feel that everyone has they don't feel intimidated. They'll always say what they feel, and it's more conducive to success, I think. Just being open to people's opinions and taking that into account and working with people to come up with the best plan for them individually and then as a group coming together. So that's my philosophy on teaching.
Okay. So can you tell me about a time you would have maybe considered as, you made a mistake, and what one of your biggest mistakes was, and maybe how you dealt with that?
So I think definitely being new in the teaching on the teaching side of soccer, I found that if there was a point in a practice, let's say where I was with the team and they weren't understanding a drill or they weren't doing it the way that I had hoped they were doing it, it all came back to the way that I was explaining it to them, or the way that I was teaching them how to do something. So if they don't have good technique, it's just because I wasn't explaining it to them in a way that they could understand. So I think from that aspect, I learned a lot about how to teach people the right way, and you have to be open-minded to how they learn too. So you have to kind of tailor your instruction to how the kids that you're coaching, how they learn. And I think that was a kind of an aha moment for me in my coaching progression. That's it. So.
Gotcha. All right. So what would you say is your greatest strength, and then what would you say is your greatest weakness?
So I'd say my greatest strength would be that I'm pretty laid back, and I don't mean that as I'm lazy. I mean that more as I'm very calm under pressure, and I tend to be pretty even-keeled, even in stressful situations. So I think that makes me uniquely equipped to deal with situations where, for example, in this line of work, you have kids who aren't getting along well in a team situation, or you have a stressful situation in a game scenario or something like that. I'd say that that comes in very handy. Now, on the flip side, I would say a weakness that I have kind of goes hand in hand with my strength of being even-keeled. I would say sometimes when I meet new people, I come off as, because I have somewhat of a shy temperament at first around people, I come off as not being very confident. So someone might mistake my reserved attitude at first for me not being confident and not being able to say what I feel and voice my opinion. So I'd say that's a weakness that I am trying to work on, obviously. I have more confidence than people might think I do, so.
All right. What is it that you can offer to this program?
Well, as I explained before, besides my experience as a soccer coach, I have a personal trainer certification, and I have some experience with designing training programs and fitness programs for kids, especially youth athletes. And goes a little hand in hand with that, just making sure that kids understand the tactical side of the game, but then also being able to perform at their best. So I'd be designing programs for kids at various levels, wherever you decide to place me in, whatever role you decide to place me in this position. I would be creating fitness programs during practices, possibly doing some sort of tactical practice with like a video editing type of session with the players, if you were to allow that. So it's really up to you how much of a role you want to give me in the team, but I'd be willing to contribute in almost any area.
All right. Did I ask you that question before?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm just going to ask you one quick one more for good measure. How do you evaluate success?
So I evaluate success, obviously I'd say one way to evaluate success is based on the outcome, the results that you get. And with something like coaching a sports team, a soccer team, you're going to have the opportunity to see what comes out of what you've practiced. So you're going to get results. And I think there's an aspect of evaluating the success based on your results, but then there's also the subjective value that you get from participating in sports, the life lessons you gain as you learn how to play the sport at a high level. And I think, from that, what was the question again?
How do you evaluate success?
Yeah, so from that aspect, I'd say there's evaluating success based on the results, and then there's evaluating success in the long term. So what do you get out of the sport? How has it helped your life in the long run? Are you better at communicating with people? Are you more goal-oriented now that you have this background in athletics or this and that? So I'd say it's a double-edged sword talking about how I evaluate success in sports.
All right. Well, thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thank you for seeing me. I appreciate it.
Well, we'll be getting back to you by email probably within the next week or two.
Okay, sounds good. And yeah, you have my contact information, and I'll be waiting to hear from you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.